the special reservations which the Supreme Court has termed as special reservations, horizontal reservations, and also adopted by the state government, the APPSC, have not been followed. They have converted horizontal reservations into vertical reservations. That is the basic allegation. I will demonstrate very briefly how they have converted into vertical reservations. That is the first objection to this Group 2 notification. Second objection, which goes to the root of the matter, is that the judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court in Sabharwal's case, R.K. Sabharwal's case, has not been followed. In essence, Sabharwal's case said that you cannot have a roster for vacancies for implementing reservations. The roster should be based on actual posts available in the cadre. Second point, Sabharwal also said that the roster should have the number of points equal to the number of posts in a cadre. There cannot be a 100-point roster for all purposes and for all posts, which GO 77, which has been read to your lordships, they have, though amended, it still remains to be a 100-point roster. What Sabharwal says is the roster should be based on the number of posts in a cadre. It should not be a running account. It should be operated in a particular way, which Sabharwal judgment has laid down. That I will demonstrate it before the law. These are the two issues based on we are questioning this notification Group 2 notification. Well, from what the Honorable Supreme Court has said, which has been accepted by this Honorable Court in 3 judgments, which I will point out to your lordships, also by the government, is that reservations are of 2 types. Article 16, the reservations which flow from Article 16 are vertical reservations, which are also called social reservations for SC, ST, and BC. The other reservations, which are permissive reservations, are based or horizontal reservations, which are they are for women, people with disabilities, for sports persons, etc. These are horizontal reservations. These cannot be mixed up. Vertical reservations are a monolithic rock. They cannot be interfered with. Roster points are fixed. They will have to be followed. Whereas horizontal reservations, they are not no roster points. Only the percentage is indicated. At the end of the recruitment, they will have to see whether the requisite percentage of posts have been filled up with the particular special reservation category or not. At the initial stage, at the stage of notification, there cannot be any roster points fixed. There cannot be any fixed number of posts indicated in the notification. That is the basic objection. Now, what has happened is, after Daria's judgment, which have already seen, the government accepted the judgment, has issued amendments to Rule 22 of the AP State and Subordinate Service Rules by way of GOMS number 77. GOMS number 77, though there are few paragraphs which go contrary to the judgment, in principle they accept that there are 2 kinds of reservations. When it comes to horizontal reservations, there cannot be any roster points. So they have changed the 100-point roster system in Rule 22, which was followed earlier, which had specific roster points fixed per woman in all the categories. It had roster points fixed among OCs, BCs, SCs, and STs. That has been removed. All the roster points have been removed. Only vertical reservations categories are indicated. There is no question of any roster point for women or people with disabilities or sports persons. That is what the GO actually says. But what has happened is, as we can see from the counter and from the indents that the various departments have sent to the APPSC has sent to various departments, and the information sent by the departments to APPS. This GO 77 did not percolate to the departments from whom indents were invited. They did not follow GO 77. They followed the earlier system. They identified the roster points and fixed the points where these horizontal reservation categories should be given reservation, and they sent the intents. Here, what has happened is, by considering these horizontal reservations as vertical reservations, they also indicated the posts which were not filled up earlier with these social categories. And so they said these posts are to be filled up. So it is almost carry forward of vacancies which were not filled. That I will also point out here. So what has happened is they virtually became vertical reservations. In horizontal reservations, there cannot be any carry forward system. If the reservations are not filled up, if there are no candidates, we can do nothing. Unlike the other reservations under 60, there is no question of carry forward. But they have done that. That is the result. That is the result. As a result of all this, what has happened is, now there are reservations for women in several cadres more than 50%, which hits at the root the merit. Merit has become a casualty. So obviously, what has happened is the opportunities for all the rest of the candidates, the men and other candidates who do not belong to these social categories, their prospects are affected. That is the basic objection to this notification. Kindly see the notification.
463 follow on
460. Page 46 is the reservations. So paragraph 4.1 relates to reservations. In the first paragraph, they indicate that reservations will be in accordance with GOMS number 77. In the second paragraph, they say that reservations for women horizontally will be for 33.1/3% in terms of Rule 22. Same GO. Then they say in the next paragraph that persons with benchmark disability will also be given the reservations. Then how benchmark this reservation with benchmark disability person should be done, they have explained. There is no indication about how these horizontal reservations are to be actually done. That is not explained in the notification. So we will have to go to GOMS number 71. Page 159. The first paragraph itself, they extract parts of the judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court, which is correctly understood. It says,
oh, 1 minute. I was looking for something else in the notification.
page 160. Here, the background, my lord, for issuing this GO seems to be explained, but my lord, judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court in Anil Kumar Gupta's case is extracted, which gives a proper understanding of how horizontal reservations will have to be done. From my lord, line 5, my lord, may I read? Line 5.
Page 161.
116. Judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court in italics.
All right.
So, fifth sentence. The proper and correct course is to first fill up OC quota 50% on the basis of merit. Then fill up each of the social reservation quotas, SC, ST, and BC. The third step would be to find out how many candidates belonging to special reservations have been selected on the above basis. If the quota fixed for horizontal reservations is already satisfied, in case it is an overall horizontal reservation, no further question arises. But if it is not so satisfied, the requisite number of special reservation candidates shall have to be taken and adjusted, accommodated against their respective social reservation categories by deleting the corresponding number of candidates therefrom. If, however, it is a case of compartmentalized horizontal reservation, then the process of verification and adjustment accommodation as stated above should be applied separately for each of the vertical reservations. In such a case, the reservation of 15% in favor of special categories overall may be satisfied or may not be satisfied. Because the revised notification provided for a different method of filling up the seats, it has contributed partly to them. So, basic proposition that is laid down is
Japan.
once they have prepared a merit list basing on the vertical reservation, suppose if in each reserved category, OC, 33% are not represented by women, then the last meritorious candidate is deleted and a woman candidate from the merit list, though even if lesser merit, will be taken and put in that place. That is how it is to be filled up. They have understood correctly, which means there cannot be any roster point fixed at the time of notification. Implementing the reservation for horizontal categories arises only after the selection process. Initially, there cannot be any reservations. That is what can be understood from this. They have extracted it correctly. They also explain it in a correct way. Kindly see page 162. They extract from the judgment of in Mamta Bist. That is a paragraph 3. On the top also, paragraph 2, subpara 2. Directly from Darya's judgment, they extract. They say, but the said principle applicable to vertical reservations will not apply to horizontal reservations. Where a special reservation for women is provided within the social reservation for SCs, the proper procedure is first to fill up the quota for SCs in order of merit and then find out the number of candidates among them who belong to special reservation group of scheduled caste women. If the number of women in such list is equal to or more than the number of special reservation quota, then there is no need for further selection towards the special reservation quota. Only if there is any shortfall, the requisite number of scheduled caste women shall have to be taken by deleting the corresponding number of candidates from the bottom of the list relating to scheduled castes. Once again, clearly explained. Next paragraph also is to the same effect. Basing on this, they have appointed a committee. Page 168.
Yes.
The committee gave some recommendations. Those are at page 169. Kindly see the second notification. First recommendation, page 169. No roster point shall be earmarked to women. Persons with benchmark disabilities, ex-servicemen, and meritorious sports persons for implementation of horizontal reservation. Next, roster points earmarked in the existing roster to the categories of women, persons with benchmark disabilities, ex-servicemen, and meritorious sports persons shall be deleted. That is the recommendation. Following these recommendations, they have amended the state and subordinate service rules. Amendment is page 170. Page 171, they have indicated the 100-point roster system. Unit of 100 vacancies. This is again Sabharwal judgment, but I am not concentrating on that point now, because there cannot be a vacancy roster point, the vacancy system. There should be a post-based roster system. But anyway, I am not concentrating on that now. Kindly come to special reservation rule 22B at page 174. Once again, they explain, they say there are two kinds of reservations. Kindly see page 175, paragraph, subpara 4.
Okay.
They extract the judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court, though it is not referred. It once again say how the reservation, the horizontal reservation should be filled up. It says, page 175. Where a special reservation for women is provided within the social reservation for scheduled caste, the proper procedure is first to fill up the quota for scheduled caste in order of merit, and then find out the number of candidates among them who belong to the special reservation group of scheduled caste women. If the number of women in such list is equal to or more than the number of special reservation quota, then there is no need for further selection towards the special reservation quota. Once again, only if there is any shortfall, the requisite number of scheduled caste women will have to be taken by deleting the corresponding number of candidates from the bottom of the list relating to scheduled caste. To this extent, horizontal special reservation differs from vertical social reservation. Thus, women selected on merit within the vertical reservation quota will be counted against the horizontal reservation for women. The illustration also is given. Similarly, next page they explain how it used to be done with persons with benchmark disabilities. This is an illustrative example which is applicable to all the vertical reservation categories: OC, BC, SC, ST. Though SC is given, it is applicable to every category. That is how they have understood. They have deleted the roster points that are given for women and other sports persons, etc., in this 100-point roster. Even ex-servicemen, they give an indication of how to, page 183. They make it clear, last line, roster points shall not be assigned for horizontal reservation for ex-servicemen. Page 183, last line. Even in respect of only to reiterate the fact that they have understood the difference between horizontal and vertical reservations. Even in respect of promotions, kindly see what they said at page 185. C, C, above the table. They have given a separate table, my lord, of 100-point roster in this for promotions also. They said, kindly see, however, there shall not be roster points earmarked for women as well as PBDs. Accordingly, the 100 points roster fixed for effecting promotions shall be as follows. They have removed, my lord, the points earlier fixed for women. Then they have also added an explanation to the rule. Kindly see page 188, my lord.
Page.
Page 188.
Okay.
These are, my lord, explanations as to how reservations will have to be followed. Kindly see 5, horizontal reservation for women. First point, roster points shall not be assigned for horizontal reservations for women. Horizontal reservation for women is provided within open competition and also within social reservations for scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, backward classes in each group and academically weaker sections. Same with, my lord, benchmark disabilities. So this is the crux of the matter. Next page, my lord, last paragraph of this GO. Last paragraph. Next page. Thus, women selected on merit basis within the vertical reservation quota of SC, ST, BC, and EWS shall be counted against the horizontal reservation for women, and the shortfall, if found, the requisite number of women candidates shall have to be taken in the order of merit on similar exercise as done in respect of OC quota. So, on the whole, our humble submission is, when you give a notification, you can indicate the roster points for SC, ST, and BC. Other than that, you cannot indicate any roster point or number of posts to be filled up with women. Ultimately, after the mains examination, when you prepare the merit list, when compartmentalized merit list will be prepared for OCs, SCs, STs, and BCs. Among the compartmentalized merit list, suppose you don't find representation of women to the extent of 33%, then from the last least meritorious person, you will have to review and see that on the whole 33% are there in respect of women. Similarly with persons with benchmark disabilities, similarly with sports persons. But now kindly come to what they have actually done. Kindly see the notification. At page 24. In the first paragraph, first page, they explain about screening test, main examination, then computer proficiency test. The next page, page 25, about the vacancies. There are 331 executive posts and 566 non-executive posts. Totally, the selection is for 897 vacancies. Page 28, Malad, is of the scheme of the examination, how the tests are conducted. From next page onwards, Malad, is syllabus. Reservations, Malad, are dealt with, Malad, at page 46. First paragraph says there will be reservations, vertical reservations, and horizontal reservations in accordance with Rule 22 and 22A and 22B. That is GOMS number 77. That is what they say. Next paragraph, my lord, about horizontal reservations for women. Next paragraph about, my lord, persons with benchmark disabilities, etc., and how it should be done. Nowhere, my lord, it is indicated about the roster points. But when it comes to the number of posts, suddenly this issue crops up at page 57. Kindly see, my lord, the first post is municipal commissioner post.
Good. These were
After the page
here, these were
57.
heard. Earlier, there are certain markings here I have noted. The women OC 1, women OC, and even in the next post, women OC 1, BCD 1, zone 4 in the bottom also mentions about women.
56 also. Page 56 also.
Page 57. Page
57, yes. OC, the women is indicated.
56 ఏంటండి?
Page 57,
Yes.
post of sub-registrar also, women reservation is indicated, number of posts. Not only the number of posts, in each vertical reservation category, the number of posts for women also is indicated.
Noted. Last time there is somebody hearing అయినప్పుడు there were markings here. I think I don't know whether I have marked it or somebody else marked it. Is there? Okay. Almost for every post there is this women are there.
Yes.
For
For
almost
every post they indicate. And these, well, this has resulted because of the indents. APPSC has sent indents. The departments have sent the forms. In all the forms, they have calculated the posts meant for horizontal reservation categories as if they are vertical reservations. They have counted the adequacy of the earlier recruitments. According to them, if women were not there to the extent of 33%, those posts are also sent as part of the indents, and that is how these figures are arrived. So obviously what happens is, now this 33% is not calculated basing on the present number of posts in the notification. They are also calculated basing on the earlier recruitments where lesser number of women were there. 33% women could not be recruited, were also indicated in the indents. So what happens is, firstly, women and other reservations also. What happens is, horizontal reservations are converted into vertical reservations. They also become carry forward vacancies, which concept is not there in horizontal reservations. My Lord, Supreme Court has very clearly said. That is how this has worked out. I will not, my Lord, trouble your lordships with this, since
whatever flow you are prepared, please go through.
Since everything is noted, I will not repeat it again.
Page 59 also carry forward vacancies are specifically mentioned.
In the indent.
In the page 59, the vacancies, carry forward vacancies are mentioned. Yes, please go ahead. Chapan.
Kindly come to the counter affidavit, my Lord, of APPSC.
We continue after lunch and
Yes.